I feel like jingle writers are like musical rapists. You know, like they come in, they force it on you. It's in there, and so it's like
and you can never stop thinking about it.
You can never stop thinking about it. Jingle writers are musical rapists.
Jesus Christ!
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Well.
Man. So this is Grown-up Human Comic People, episode number
34. I guess we might as well. Yeah, right? We're going, right? Okay, we're going. Here we go. All right. Welcome to the show. This is episode 34 of Grown-up Human Comic People. It may or may not be subtitled The Bodily Fluids episode. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, I'm going to go around to the table, introduce everybody as we usually do, and then I'll get to we have a guest, so I'll get to him after we get to the regulars, to the humans. So to my left, Chris, Jared,
Hey,
Greg,
greetings.
Dan. Hey, good to be here.
I'm Jared. We're the humans. We have a special guest, Chad.
Hello.
Yeah, listen to that. Yeah. So you can find us at grownuphumans.com. epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. Make sure to rate and review us on iTunes and Google Music and whatever other mediums you listen to us on, because it helps our visibility. We're also on Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud at Grown Up Human Comic People. Did anybody check if we have any new reviews? I didn't. I totally forgot about doing that. Anybody? No?
I need access to all of our shit so I can do it.
Okay. We do have a... I'll save it for the next episode. We have a... somebody sent an email to us. One of our regular listeners sent an email about it's very silly. So we'll get to that in the next episode. But anyway, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at Grown Up Humans. Just quick plugs. Make sure to go to Southside Comics at 1931 East Carson Street. Stop by, see Dan. He'll hook you up with all your favorite comic books. Check out RadicalTrivia.com. Come out to some trivia shows. We just won the Best in the Berg thing for the second year in a row. So we're... Yeah. Come on, check out some fucking radical goddamn trivia.
Good old wholesome fun.
Yep. Check out Midnight Rose. Who wants to... J-Man? Greg?
Yeah, we have a show, Mr. Smalls, on... When is it, Greg?
July 14th. It's a Friday. 8 p.m. We're one of a couple of bands. $10 Brutal Beer Fest. Something or other to do with that. I don't know. But it'll be cool.
Yeah. I'm sold. I'll be there.
Sweet.
We really went for the hard sell on that one.
Are you guys actually part of the Brutal Beer Fest? Or
It's
are you
not
just
the fest itself. It's like a pre... Is it the day before or something like that?
Something with like the fundraiser, I guess, for it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So we're helping to... I guess we're helping to make it happen. I don't know. But we're going to show up and we're going to play. It'll be fucking awesome. So
Yeah. We ought to have our CD.
Will there be beer?
I would hope so.
Yeah, there
Will
is.
it be brutal?
I can't guarantee that.
Okay.
I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen
we'll be there.
Midnight
It'll be
Rose.
brutal.
They're not really brutal.
Yeah, brutal's not really the word. It's more ridiculous, I'd say.
Yeah.
Not ridiculous. Rockin' and ridiculous.
I've seen your fucking band. It's ridiculous.
Okay, yeah. We wear costumes. It's fun.
I can't say ridiculous. It's
No.
not worthy of ridicule.
No.
No.
Good point, Greg.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's go right to the definition of that word. It is not worthy of ridicule.
It's silly fun.
It's a spectacle. How about that?
Yeah, it's spectacular.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
I don't know that I often or perhaps ever intentionally use ridiculous in a way to mean worthy of ridicule.
I think you're right.
Like ridiculous, I generally use in like a positive way.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, I want you to do it again. I don't know. And in that sense, Midnight Rose is ridiculous.
Okay.
Do it again, Midnight Rose.
That's all I was thinking, but yeah.
Check out metamesh.org. They bring free internet to the masses. It's pretty cool. Chad, you have some plugs? Do you want to tell us where we can find you doing stuff?
Yeah, I've got a whole sheet of stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Throw it out.
black-yoga.com will send you towards the Black Yoga Meditation Ensemble. We are also on SoundCloud. I'm really trying to push people to check out the Black Yoga SoundCloud. We put up all our mixes, and we're starting to release some like demo material, concepts, ideas on SoundCloud or Mixcloud and SoundCloud. Bandcamp, Black Yoga Meditation Ensemble, or Black Yoga on Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram. My personal stuff is at Veniculture on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And then, of course, Zeke'sCoffeePGH.com, Facebook, Zeke's Coffee Pittsburgh, and Instagram at Zeke'sPGH. And I think that's probably most of the ones that are worth anything.
Cool. So yeah, we can. I feel we might as well dive in since we've got you here. I want to know more about the Black Yoga.
Yeah,
stuff,
so do I, dude.
Yeah.
Right on. What do you want to know?
Describe it to me.
Okay, so Black Yoga is basically
White people do black yoga.
Yes, actually.
Should we be
It's
calling
probably
it?
mostly white.
Should we be calling it African American yoga?
No, it's not African American yoga. Although African Americans are, of course, always welcome to join us.
We appreciate that.
We're using the word black as in Black Sabbath or black metal.
Cool.
It basically to just mean dark. Black yoga is metal yoga for metalheads is really kind of how it started. We also use kind of trip hop and some doom and just anything that has like a dark ambiance to it during our classes. And it was designed for people who may need the benefits of yoga more than the masses, but would never, ever, ever go to a yoga class.
Sure.
And I know I certainly fit that bill. When they invited me to come join their crew, I was like, yoga, yeah, I have no interest in that. And then, I kind of saw what they were going for, and I was one of the first people to help them kind of design the music for the classes and stuff. We pull from soundtracks and from all across doom genres, metal genres, and it's just basically a darker atmosphere for a yoga class. It's Vinyasa Flow Yoga. We have classes at Exhale on Tuesdays downtown at 7 o'clock, so it's nighttime yoga. It's not really morning yoga.
Right.
Low lit, so you don't have to feel like you're being judged. It's kind of low lighting. There's really no time or way that you can really just be staring at other people in the class. It's not a fashion show.
Right.
And everybody there is really down to earth and really cool. So.
And there's also the live music component of it too. So you started out right doing sort of creating these DJ sets for the yoga classes,
right?
And then it evolved into this thing where now how many people are in the Black Yoga Meditation Ensemble? Like 7, 8.
There's a revolving lineup. When we recorded Asanas Rituals Volume 1, there was 21 of us in Tree Lady Studios over in Monroeville.
Oh yeah.
For 3 days we went in and 21 of us recorded. We have cello, violin, singing bowl. We had the all male doom choir. Which was great.
I want to know more about that. That's a sentence that you can't just blow by that, but we'll address that later. Continue what you're saying.
But the main core, I would say there's about 7 of us that practice regularly. We write themes, and then we work off themes. We're basically like a glorified jam band.
Okay.
But it's all kind of with yoga and meditation in mind while we play. It's a bunch of metalheads get together and write music for yoga.
Cool.
It's like a jam band without the fucking annoying tie-dye and stupid fucking shoes that they all wear. Fuck off.
Stupid shoes.
Not a deadhead.
I'm
Birkenstocks?
Yeah, whatever stupid shoes they wear. It's like
action flops.
they
check yourself with them action flops.
They love action flops. It's like,
Listen, son, Crocs. Nothing wrong with some action flops.
man, yeah, there's something wrong with action flops when you got your action flops on. You got some cargo shorts, you got a tie-dye shirt, you're throwing a fucking Frisbee around. Settle the fuck down. Relax.
It's looking mighty close to what Greg is wearing.
Well, first of all,
light them off.
Crocs can go to hell. 'Cause Crocs are a piece of shit. But I've got cargo shorts on because, hey, man,
They're convenient.
I'm flopping in the breeze. Yeah, I'm good. It's comfy.
It wasn't a direct attack on any one of those things individually.
Yeah.
It was what the package is.
Yeah.
When you show up, it's something like I don't know, I'd imagine any Fish show, or what is left of the Grateful Dead, or what is the string cheese incident, or is that the Guns N' Roses album?
No,
Spaghetti.
no, that's a
String Cheese Incident is that's a jam band.
Yeah,
right,
fuck
yeah.
them, man. I'm Freeze McGee. Fuck them. Fuck you guys. Play different music. I'll listen to you.
Hashtag fuck the string cheese incident.
I like the String Cheese Incident.
I didn't say, like, I'm just repeating what he said.
I know.
I actually don't even know anything about
No, but fuck jam bands. No, I agree because we could start a jam band right now, and any fan of jam bands would come in and listen to us play as Garbage Word. Like, oh yeah, let's play hacky sack because jam bands are bullshit. They are.
Right,
I like
except-
I like-
Unless they're doom jam bands.
No, and that's
But you're not a jam band.
yeah.
Jam bands.
I think that you take away from like your stuff, the stuff that you guys are creating is really fucking cool and really ethereal and
It's definitely different. We like to call it next level shit.
yeah, that's how I say it too. I say y'all's flexing nuts.
It's nuts.
In fairness, though, that's what the hacky sack players say when they see a Fish show. They're like, "Man, that was some next level stuff."
But see, that's the beauty in this life. Some people get to spend their lives being wrong. You can spend your entire life and have wrong opinions. So
That's true.
Yeah.
They run the country right now.
Yeah. By the way, for the record, not a Fish fan. Just wanted to say that. Even though I'm wearing cargo shorts right now, I think
I said, Greg, not an attack on any one of
Thank
those
you.
things individually.
Thank you. Yeah, I do like the Grateful Dead, but it's. I think it's possible to like an example of a genre without liking a genre.
Yeah,
Yonder Mountain String Band.
Yeah. No, they're legit. I've seen them live.
They cover the Misfits, so how can I complain?
Yeah.
I mean, listening to jam bands like in the car to me is real stupid. But like going to a show and like having a bunch of drinks and like getting kind of high or whatever, and like I'm fine with that experience. Like that's a different thing. Like when you're there, that's cool. But like if you're just like one of those people who like if you're listening like in the car, like at home, it's like what? They're not even playing live. Like they're not even improvising. This is recorded. Like what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. It's not the same experience.
The other problem is that I think which really brings down the entire genre is that jam bands go nowhere. They have no direction. So sometimes it is very impressive what they do for 2 minutes out of 78.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just, I don't know. It's just masturbating. It's just masturbating on your instrument.
We cut out the bad 76 minutes. And
That's
just
awesome.
Keep the sweet stuff.
That's good.
I'm interested because I don't really grasp a concept of what this is. I don't listen to a whole lot of metal, and I'm kind of, without experiencing this, I'm having a hard time figuring out what this particular niche that you have here is.
I'm going to catch flack for calling it metal in the first place because everyone calls this metal yoga. And then the creators of this, Scott and Kimmy Mazzy, they're like, it's not metal yoga. It's just darker ambiance. So a lot of the classes will start with straight dark ambient, like soundtrack stuff. We'll use stuff like Brian Reitzel's 30 Days a Night soundtrack.
Okay.
So imagine that soundtrack at the beginning of a yoga session. And that's setting the mood for the rest of this journey you're going to go on for an hour and 6 minutes. So the stuff that we write actually a lot of times just kind of sounds like soundtrack music. It just gets really fucking heavy in the middle.
Yeah, cool.
I'm imagining kind of like a early 90s industrial, maybe a little more complex than that, something like Ministry or some of the more like 9 Inch Nails influence, like Lost Highway soundtrack type stuff.
And you'd probably be a little wrong. It's more along the lines of Sleep's Dope Smoker.
But way prettier. Like there's something if you haven't heard it, like you could say it kind of sounds like this, it kind of sounds like that, but like whatever they're creating is, in my experience, my like whatever in the music I've listened to in my entire life, it's fairly unique. You know, and it's drawing on a lot a influences, but
we
like,
do wear
what
our
they're
influences
doing
on our
is-
sleeve for sure.
We could put like a little snippet in the inside.
I actually took a moment the other night and tried to doom your theme song.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how long I have until this airs, but maybe I'll try and finish that for you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be
That's
sweet.
fucking awesome. We use that for this episode.
That would be incredible.
And maybe we could close it out with if you know,
We
if
could
we
all
get
do the
permission,
vocals.
like close out this episode with one of the tracks from the Cycle of Suffering, which is the new one.
I'll have my people call your people.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
okay, well,
Is this available to download? Can I?
Bandcamp, Black Yoga on Bandcamp. Yeah, we have 2 albums now. We have Asana's Rituals Volume 1 and then Cycle of Suffering EP, which were the kind of the tracks that were left off of Asana's. We're currently in the middle of working on Asana's 2. We've already done the filming for the yoga. We're just finishing off all the songs now, and I think we have like maybe even 2 or 3 other albums on deck. So we've got a bunch coming.
That's awesome.
I have 2 questions. You said Scott and Kimmy Massey?
Yes.
Those names sound familiar. Do you know what else they've...
Intravenous Music Collective?
Yeah, is that Bottom Feeder?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You've been here for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, yeah,
Well, I
Bottom Feeder.
I met a guy who was from Bottom Feeder, and he told me the name of it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what it was I ran into him when I was at the last time Lollapalooza toured. We ended up, like, somehow we ended up, like, getting backstage, or not backstage, it was, like, a weird, like, side stage pass thing. And then I just kind of, like, remembered it, and then I ended up running into him later as a friend of a friend. I'm like, oh, so you know Mark McCall. Anyway, then I was at Record Exchange. I saw one of their albums, and I bought it. I'm like, oh, shit, this band. It's been like 10 years since I've thought about that name.
Scott sang for Storm King. If any of you guys are familiar with the local band Storm King, he ran Intravenous Music Collective, which was a collective record label. They put out records by... I'm probably going to forget everybody. Vulture, Invader. There's a whole laundry list of stuff. You can go to intravenous.org and find out all the stuff that they've released over the years. But they're a married couple. They got married on stage with Pigface. That's kind of interesting.
That's cool.
That's pretty weird. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
How awesome is that? Yeah.
That's fucking badass.
At Laga, back in the day, they got married on
Holy
stage.
shit.
buddy.
Yeah.
I know people used to go in blackface with pigface. Shit, you know. That's some pretty kinky wedding ceremony there.
It's not really cool to go pig face anymore. Like,
Kind of frowned upon.
really frowned upon, yeah.
Sorry, Martin.
So, Greg, when you said the Lollapalooza touring, was that the one with Jane's Addiction?
So the last time it toured was 2003, and it was they had been on hiatus. That festival had been on hiatus for like 6 or 7 years, I think. And Jane's Addiction was headlining. It was 3/4 of Jane's Addiction, I'll say, because Eric Avery didn't come back aboard until like 2009. But I was there for that. I want to say Incubus was playing Queens of the Stone Age.
Audio Slave. I was there.
Nice.
Oh, July 19th.
Yeah.
2003. Yeah.
What? You know the date? I can't agree with that. I
Dude,
said,
you
yeah,
never-
like, wait, what?
You never seen him do that before?
That's
Greg
Yeah.
knows every date he's ever.
Like, when did you see AC/DC the first time?
The only time it was 2000. It was the year 2000. It was August 6th.
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. Let's go to the casino, Rain Man.
Didn't you get in for free to that show?
No, the one that I got into free for was Crosby, Stills and Nash. That was the second time that I saw Crosby, Stills and Nash, actually, because the first time was 2002. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Didn't you get into Guns N' Roses for either free or really cheap?
It was the year before that. Also, same venue though, Heinz Field. Guns N' Roses was a year ago ish. That was June last year, and then the year before that, it was the Rolling Stones.
That was a cool one.
That was $60. I got off the tee, and there's a guy right there with the ticket, and I'm like, sweet, all right. And it was a nosebleed seat. But I walked in, and I looked at the escalator, and I couldn't even see the top of the escalator from like the thing. So I was like, "Well, fuck that!" I walked over to like the lowest, the closest section that didn't have somebody checking wristbands or anything. I just walked in there, found an empty seat because it was raining that day, and old people who can afford those tickets get like scared of weather, so they just went home. There were a ton of empty seats. I'm like, yeah, sweet, I'll sit right here. $60, Rolling Stones, not bad.
That's the trick, man.
you get a
Walk in
t-shirt
like
too?
you own the place.
Yeah.
Oh no, this story was so funny to us because like Greg he just got on the tee with no plan, like just like,
Yeah.
it's like, maybe I'll go to that show. Like
And he got like a shirt for
yeah,
nothing
you got a
too.
shirt too. Yeah.
Didn't you? Like he just like, I got $20. I think I can make this happen.
It was
Go hang out with the Stones.
yeah.
You know what it was?
He's the odd stage, just having a drink.
How many of you guys you've seen Payback, right?
I have seen
Yeah,
that,
Mel Gibson at the beginning, he comes back to the city. He just has nothing. He's like literally this clothes in his back. he like takes some change out of a fake homeless guy's thing, and then he gets like a cup of coffee, and he like gets change from that, and then he picks someone's pocket, and he like buys like a new suit and like some watches and a gun. Like then he trades some of the watches for at a pawn shop for cash and a gun. So he like rolled in with nothing and then ended up with like he got a steak dinner too with his credit card. Like
I feel like we're playing Grand Theft Auto right
exactly. Like it's exactly like that. Like within the period of like 4 hours, he went from like zero with like a suit with bullet holes in the back to having like a brand new suit, a gun, fucking a full stomach, and like $800.
So are we agreeing that Greg is like Mel Gibson's character from
Greg
Payback?
is Porter from Payback. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best compliment you're going to get this month.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to top that.
Best one in recent memory. I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah, you're not going to get one better than that, I don't think.
We also have to specify that character, not Mel Gibson,
Right.
because no one wants
Greg
to be Mel
does
Gibson.
not deserve a blowjob before jacuzzi.
Now, and I don't. And like Mad Max is cool, but I don't want his Mad Max luck either.
No.
It's like, that's the opposite of what I'm going for.
I have a quick story about that Lollapalooza concert.
Yeah.
I went with a friend of mine who will remain unnamed for this, but we lost him, and it was right when James Addiction went on, and I was sitting there, and I was like, "Man, this is awesome!" If you remember, like they had the strippers on stage and everything for that show. It was really cool. So we find him later, all dazed and just completely fucked up out of his mind. And we're like, "What happened?" And he says, "Well, I woke up and I was arrested." So he woke up and he said he looked down and he's in the drunk tank out at Burgettstown. And he's handcuffed to the floor.
You got to do some shit to get handcuffed to the floor.
Yeah, handcuffed to the floor.
He's
That's scary
handcuffed to the
shit.
floor, and he looks up, and there's like 5 other people, and they're all on the opposite side of the drunk tank. And he has no idea what he did, and he's like, "Oh man, like I'm going to jail. This has to be real bad." So like this rent-a-cop, whoever they have there, comes over and was like, "All right, are you sober now?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Whatever I did, I'm sorry." I said, "All right, listen, you got to pay this. We cited you." So he has no recollection of any of this, and he moved away from us. We don't know where he was. So I was like, "Well, what is it? What did you get arrested for?" And he hands me the citation. It says tries to eat a cop.
Oh shit! He did bath salts. He did bath salts at Lollapalooza.
Wow, you know exactly what drug he did.
He was in a mosh pit, and the description goes that he was literally punching people in the face, and they grabbed him, and when they wrestled him to the ground, and he started to try to eat the cop's ear that wrestled him to the ground.
During Jane's Addiction?
During Jane's Addiction, yes.
Christ.
To the opening number, which was True Nature. That's what they opened up with.
Did you see that, Greg?
appropriate.
That incident happened?
No. Holy crap. My God.
It cost $36.
Wait, is that how much the citation was?
It was $36.
That's almost worth it.
For tackling.
Definitely worth it for the story.
He got change when he paid it.
You tell that story one time, that's worth $36.
Yeah.
No, they didn't play. Actually, they didn't play True Nature. Did you see it? You saw it in Burgettstown.
Yeah.
No.
What was the opening song? I thought it was True Nature.
I'm pretty sure. Well, first of all, I know they didn't play True. They only played 2 songs from that new album.
Just Because.
And they played Wrong Girl.
What did they open with? I thought it was True Nature.
I'm pretty sure that I think it was Up the Beach.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm trusting your memory over mine.
Yeah, I know that they didn't like True Nature's a better song than Wrong Girl.
It's a badass song.
because the album wasn't out yet at that time, and I knew that they were playing. I knew that they were playing Just Because at every show, plus one other random song from that album, depending on the city. And the one that we got was this thing that I later found out was Wrong Girl. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they opened with Up the Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
a really unimportant detail of the story. But
I just remember because they came out rocking, and
Yeah.
I was like, yes, and it was so up tempo.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to come out to like Jane Says or some stupid bullshit like that. I never saw them before.
which they unfortunately closed with. I
Yeah.
hate when they close with
It was
that song.
terrible. I left.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't.
You left when that song came on?
I hate that song.
Oh man,
have
it's
there
still a
been-
good song.
Have there been Lollapaloozas where they don't play? Because I thought that was the whole point. Is that
Yes,
that's their show?
And well, first of all, I do like that song, but I think it's a terrible choice for a closer. And I know they only do it because it's like, oh, this is the popular song. It doesn't matter. It's like that's a good like mid-set song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that song would be fine if it wasn't as like inexplicably popular for whatever. Like they're too popular. Or Been Caught Stealing and Jane Says, neither of which sound like them really. Anyway, yeah, and the only ones that they played were 91 and 2003, and I guess 2010, and maybe it was 09. I think it was 09, because that was right before Eric Avery left again. And they might have done it since then, I don't know. But that doesn't count because it stopped touring after 03. So in my mind, like being the first touring festival that now no longer tours, it's no longer Lollapalooza, in my opinion. Whatever.
The first show was supposed to be a farewell tour for them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The other times that they've played, that like Perry Farrell has played, has been like, I know Porno for Pyros played in 92, and maybe sometime after that, maybe like 94 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a Jane's Addiction thing. I thought it was a Porno for Pyros thing. I thought that's what Lollapalooza was. It was Porno for Pyros, not Jane's Addiction.
No, it was originally supposed to be a farewell tour for Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, in 91, the first one. Because they weren't going to tour to support their last album, Ritual Daily Habitual, but Warner Brothers was like, come on, you guys, you got to do it. And I guess Perry Farrell was like, fine, but we're going to do it, throw a party. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? So,
I think that word comes from the Three Stooges, I want to say.
I don't remember.
It's like
Lollapalooza?
Yeah. Pretty sure like it originates from the Three Stooges.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Anyway, which
Perry Farrell got his name from opening up a dictionary and sticking his finger in, as far as I know, the legend, and he hit on peripheral.
yeah. Oh,
So he went with Perry Farrell, and that's how he got
That's
his
cool
stage
as
name.
fuck.
interesting.
And he
That's
opened up a
real-
dictionary or an encyclopedia, some kind of book, and flipped. That's my name now.
I didn't know about the book thing. I know that his real last name is Bernstein or Bernstein, I think. But I think it is Perry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What's
Just some crap I heard somewhere.
What's Perry short for? Like Percival? Was that? Is that the
Percival. Yeah, it sounds
like
about
a shortening? Yeah.
Oh,
I can't
Isn't it
think
also a last name? What about Commodore
yeah,
Perry?
yeah, Perry. Yeah. Commodore. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perry. Yeah.
Commodore Perry.
Yeah.
I do know
My
that's-
alma mater, Perry Traditional Academy.
I do know the dictionary is how the Grateful Dead got their name. So,
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, and I can't, like, not everybody in the band liked the name. I can't remember who. God, I was super young whenever I heard that story, but yeah, it was,
Yeah, because their name before that was what? The Warlocks.
yeah.
Way cooler name. But like if I
not deserving. They don't. That band doesn't deserve that name though.
yeah, I know, because if I pulled out like some album, I'm like, oh man, the Warlocks, thinking it's gonna be like
Sabbathy or something.
right,
metal.
right, and then I put that on, and it's like another
Someone-
it's a touch of gray.
Oh, my
like fuck off, fuck you guys.
It's like Crazy Train. You listen. You turn. First time you hear Crazy Train. I mean, for all of us, it's probably a long time since we first heard that song. But like, I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, it starts off, and I was like, this is awesome. This is gonna be fucking awesome. And then that part's over, and then the main riff comes in, major. I was like, what the fuck? What was that? What's the beginning part's so cool? And then just disappointment.
It's like a pop song about losing your mind.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it would be that they ruined it.
Really, anything in a major key is a disappointment.
Unacceptable.
You are 100% correct. That needs to be on a T-shirt somewhere.
I'm going to fucking hashtag that too.
The most metal thing I've ever heard.
Is a disappointment. Anything. Like, yeah, No More Mr. Nice Guy, great riff. Not a great song.
Right. I don't know though. I kind of love whenever you hear really really sad songs in major keys.
Yeah.
Like that I like that like juxtaposition of like sad lyrics in a major key.
I like whenever you're mostly operating in minor, and then like for a great example, the solo in Disposable Heroes. Like when it at the very end, it flips into major, and it's like and it's doing the tapping part. It's like brightens up the whole solo. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Like that's a cool little addition there.
Minor fall and the major lift.
Yep.
You kind of have to have both, or neither.
Right. They're not
are
effective.
worth anything.
I was going to bring that up, but I have such a hate love for that song. Hallelujah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, and I think Jeff Buckley's version is incredible.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't have a love-hate relationship with that song. I have it with anybody that likes that song. Because you meet those people, and you're like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? Why do you own every Jack Johnson album? They're just such shitty people, and they're like, I have such sophisticated taste in music. Have you ever heard Jeff Buckley? Do you know that he's dead? And I just, what the fuck?
He killed himself in a boat in the Hudson.
Yeah.
But that Jeff Buckley, I can't even listen to it because I listen to it now, and it is so emotional. It makes me so intensely sad. Like I can feel just thinking about listening to Jeff Buckley makes me slightly nauseated in that sort of like someone I love just died or something really meaningful just ended. That feeling, just thinking about it, I get it right now. Thinking about hearing Jeff Buckley like belt out anything, especially Hallelujah.
Jeff Buckley is like a Shakespearean tragedy, man. I like Jeff Buckley. I love Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, Leonard Cohen's right.
Both of them are incredible.
Yeah.
That song in particular reminds me, and like I like, it's a great song, but like it reminds me of like fucking all like stupid like performance shows, like competition, like American Idol or whatever, like The Voice, and she was like, oh, I need to seem like I'm very deep, so I'm going to sing like a slow version of a song and really put all my heart into it. It's like you're trying to win a fucking competition judged by like goddamn
the most
Howard
basic
Stern.
motherfuckers on earth, not just by Howard Stern. You're winning a competition based on people who are sitting from a fucking TV, who also have a fucking phone in their hand, who are sending messages to other people while they're watching another screen that's in front of them, and then sending fucking messages into that television show. Like you are being judged. If you win that means you are king of the assholes. You are king dickhead of shit mountain. Congratulations. Now you get to go and perform in front of a bunch of other basic fucking people who are going to pay $35 and drink their weird fucking mojitos that are slushies. Fuck that. No, that's bullshit.
Better to reign in hell.
Yeah, right, exactly. Then like, oh, you won The Voice. Congratulations. Cool.
Yeah.
What do you do now? Oh, you tour as the person who won The Voice. Awesome.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
I saw Tape Face from I think American Idol. Did you guys see Tape Face? He was like this mime weird dude that was on American Idol.
No.
He's coming to Pittsburgh soon. It might be worth a watch.
Tapeface?
Yeah, his name's Tape Face. He was actually pretty entertaining. He was kind of like a
I know who
freak
you're
show.
talking about. Yeah.
He's like silent mime
I did see
dude that
that.
did like a freak show kind of
I
thing.
think that was America's Got Talent.
Oh, yeah, there you go. One of those
So it
fucking
was-
shows.
I mean, I feel like an asshole just for correcting you on that. But for search purposes, if anybody, because I did see that clip. But yeah, he was pretty good.
It was definitely entertaining, at least. I don't know how watching him for an hour would be, but for the
Right.
10 minutes they gave him, he was great.
I gotta say, one time I saw, speaking of like novelty things, I saw the Blue Man Group one time, like at the Civic Arena, and it was fucking awesome. Like there was enough variety in their act where it was like I was never bored. Like it was really, really cool.
Dude, they're like incredible drummers.
Well,
it's
not
just like,
just that, it's
like or percussion, not drummers, but percussionists.
Right.
Like that's cool as fuck.
Right, and then on top of that, they do all this like really like just interesting, weird shit. Like I don't know how you start a group. I guess you just start like kind of like a magician start or something like illusionist start. You like start with like little tricks and you make some money and you like buy more shit. I don't know, but like it was cool. So I would go see Tape Face.
They're like Sepultura meets Cirque du Soleil at Home Depot with PVC.
yeah. That's a really apt description.
I can't believe how accurate that is. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Was it? And
They were great live, though. I saw them.
I saw them too, yeah, that's sweet.
They were awesome.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with appreciating the theatricality of
Yeah.
something as small of a. I mean, obviously, there's like mime elements to Tape Face, what he was doing, and obviously the Blue Man Group too, who also don't speak in the microphones when they're addressing the crowd or anything. It's all.
And they did a great job of addressing the crowd without speaking at all. Like
Yeah.
they somehow like could express what like if there's if I recall correctly, I'm not sure if we had the same show, but like
I was at the one at Star Lake.
oh okay, so not
Back when it was Star Lake.
okay, right. Which but people still call it Star Lake.
It's going to be Star Lake forever.
But I don't even know what the other name is for that.
They call it something different now. It's just a Key Bank or something like that.
Key Bank.
It's Burgettstown. I
Key
call
Bank.
it Burgettstown.
I don't even know.
Corporate stage.
Yeah, corporate. Yeah, is it Key Bank? I'm not sure.
That's
They changed it because it was First Niagara, and then First Niagara got bought by somebody. I don't know.
It is. It's Key Bank. And so
We don't need to acknowledge that.
well, fuck Key Bank.
Quit saying Key Bank.
And I'm gonna say
should be getting
fuck
paid
Key
every time
Bank
we say
real
that.
hard. So About 3 months ago, I think. Actually, about 6 months ago, KeyBank came in and they bought out whatever the other bank, First Niagara. That's what it was before,
Yeah.
First Niagara
Yeah.
Pavilion. And my Amazon account was hacked. And I had a credit card through First Niagara on there. Everything's taken care of, whatever. They wiped out about $1,000 in my checking account, and they maxed out this credit card. They bought themselves a PS4 and an HD TV, and they maxed out it was a small credit card. It was like $5,000.
Thanks,
okay?
by the way.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I contacted Amazon. They're like, yeah, whatever. We'll help out. Contact your bank. I work at my bank, so that was easy. But I forgot about this credit card, and it was First Niagara, and KeyBank took it over.
Yeah.
So I call First Niagara on the back of my credit card, and I found it. It was in a shoebox, and I called the number on the back, and they're like, oh, welcome to KeyBank. And I'm like, what the fuck? When did this happen? I didn't even know. So I said, hey, I was hacked. This credit card has like $5,000 in unauthorized charges on it. And they're like, okay, well, we can't find that. And I said, what do you mean you can't find it? And they said, well, we can't find this credit card. I said, this is, just so we're clear here, this is your money, not mine. You lost $5,000. This is a credit card. This isn't. I don't care about this money. I mean, this is your problem.
I'm trying to help you.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we need you to like fill out all this paperwork and stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. This is your money. You realize somebody took $5,000 from you, okay? So they're like, well. And they put me on hold for like 15 minutes, okay? And I'm sitting there listening to fucking American Idol bullshit on hold. And they get back on. They're like, well, you need to contact First Niagara. And I went, you're First Niagara. You bought First. Do you understand that somebody robbed you? Do you get this? And they're like, well, we need to cancel the card. I said, I know somebody robbed you. Why are you yelling at me about this? I'm telling you that you've been robbed. You no longer have that was $5,000 that was your money, and somebody came and took it, and I'm telling you this, okay?
It's like you being at Subway and like a guy comes in and like fucking robs the register, and the person behind the register is like, you're gonna have to call somebody about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, what? No.
So I hung up and I said, okay, get this off my credit report. All right. I didn't do this. I'm telling you. It's off my credit report. They still have not collected. Like, they had no idea what to do with this.
That was a write-off. They just wrote that.
Oh, yeah, they definitely
It's a
did.
write-off. To write it off.
I mean, anytime that happens when a bank takes over another bank, I've been through an acquisition, and it's real fucked up. It's horrible. If your bank gets taken over by another bank, you should just switch to another bank because all these horrible things are going to happen. And I know that's exactly what they did. They were like, we only lost $5,000. That's fine. Take somebody's house.
When you started that story, I thought you were going to say, you were like, yeah, it switched over to KeyBank from First Niagara. And then you said, like, and my credit card got hacked. And I'm like, what did that have to do with? Like them switching over the name of the... like every time they switch the name of this fucking thing, my credit card is hacked. It's real weird. I don't know what's happening.
No, it's just a coincidence, and they didn't know what to do. They still, they had no idea they had that credit card. And I don't think First Niagara exists anymore, so it's not like... Because I tried, I called, and the number for First Niagara just goes to KeyBank now, so...
So you're saying we should find out what banks are about to switch over to, like, different banks and just, like... hack all those numbers. That's free money.
I doubt that you'd be able to do that every time.
Yeah, exactly.
I sincerely do.
Yeah. I guess we can move on to the book, right?
This is the most ADD podcast I've ever been a part of.
We don't hold back.
We're not even drunk yet.
We're
not even drunk yet.
Jane's Addiction, Blue Man Group, and now my credit card's stolen.
Yeah.
Yep. That's well, we've had.
And I feel like we need to circle back around to black yoga at some point because this was all the result of talking about black yoga.
Right.
See what you did.
This was. Yeah.
I think we forgot the cheers at the very beginning too.
Fuck,
did.
holy
So can we do that in the middle now?
Shit,
Like since
fuck.
this is-
God damn it.
I was looking
Holy
forward
shit.
to a ceremony.
I always forget. Like every. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you said you listened to a couple episodes. You probably heard the.
The clank.
Yeah.
Clank was what I was
There you
looking
go.
forward to.
Cheers. There we go. Cheers.
Thank you.
There we go. All right.
We're gonna have to cut that into the beginning.
No, we ain't.
I ain't cutting shit.
Jared's like, I'm doing any more unnecessary work for this.
There are two reasons why. That's the second one.
And thus it was decided Jared would do no more shit.
Man, can I just say fuck American Idol real fast since we were talking about that?
Yeah.
I think that show was actually detrimental to music.
Oh, it's absolutely.
When that
100%.
yeah, 100%. I feel that pop music, and I listen to everything. I listen to pop. I think pop music now is significantly better now that we don't have American Idol around anymore.
Is that done now?
Yeah, it's been done for a few years.
Didn't they renew
didn't
it, though?
notice.
I thought that they were talking about renewing it.
I think they're going to bring it back. They
bring
probably
it back,
will. It's a
is what it
cash cow, and it costs them like $19 to produce. Obviously, they're
They
going to bring
switched
it
it
back.
to Yugoslavian Idol.
That actually probably is a thing because there's like every country has its own idol thing. So
Yeah. I mean,
that's definitely a thing.
They absolutely do.
except for Yugoslavia isn't a thing anymore.
None of the people that won though, none of those people did anything. Like runner-ups did
Constantinople
stuff, but none of those people that won. Like remember that complete hack bullshit guy with the gray hair that
Oh.
couldn't sing at all?
Bo
Taylor.
Bice?
No, Bo Bice was the rocker who.
Oh, Taylor
Hicks.
Yes. That was-
Yeah. And all that did do was like he danced like Elvis without a pelvis. And he
I
had
have to
gray
Google
hair.
Taylor Hicks.
And he was just such bullshit. And he couldn't hit notes at all. He just stayed even keel, and he won everything.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Well, that was weird." And he went and became a grocer or something because he's not doing anything in music. He didn't even tour after he won. He just went back to his insurance job or whatever he does.
One of my favorite jokes that has to do with American Idol was on The Goods, the movie The Goods with Jeremy Piven. And it's so the promotion they have going at the car dealership is fucking what's the black guy Craig, the big guy,
Craig Robinson?
Craig Robinson, yeah. He's the DJ and he's like announcing all the things that are happening over the weekend. He's like, and on Saturday we have Bo Bice's brother gonna be here. And everybody's really, really excited about it. Well, if you haven't seen that movie, you fucking see that movie. It's really funny. It's underrated.
It is. It's
funny.
very underrated. It was part of that, like, a bunch of those movies that all came out at the same time.
Like the Anchorman series of
Yeah,
things,
that a series of ridiculous events happened,
Yeah.
and it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous. But that one's a diamond in the rough.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But with pop music now, I don't listen to the radio, and that's not like saying I don't have a TV. It's just we have Spotify. But
yeah.
like pop music now, are there instruments back in it,
Yeah.
or is everything no?
I believe so.
There
I mean,
are?
when you listen, like, I'll
I think
bring
I heard
up.
a trumpet the other day.
I mean, no, there is. There's definitely, and pop music obviously gets shit because it's pop music, but there are bands out there now that I legitimately feel are good music. Like, I mean,
For example,
Portugal the Man.
that's
Now,
pop music.
yeah,
Did you say
definitely.
Portugal the Man?
Yeah, Portugal. Period. The Man. You've heard. If you haven't heard it, I'm surprised. But I'm trying to
I
remember
thought
the name
Portugal
of
the
the song.
Man was a like a DJ.
No, they're they're an indie band. They used to be a doom metal band actually out of Anchorage, Alaska, and they broke up. And they said, like the two founding members said, you know what, we want more of like a indie type feel. So they started off as an indie band that I was listening to back in 2000, I think 11 or 2012 when they first started. But now they're launching themselves into the limelight, and you're going to hear Portugal the Man this year. That's going to be the top pop act. They're up there with Kings of Leon and everybody else. And I think bands like that are really coming into pop music now. Another one is Marion Hill, who you probably have, like, that's another band that's going to be like at the end of the year. You're going to hear like millions and millions of people playing that song to the point where we're like, fuck this band, I hate them. But you're bringing in, actual real music at this point.
That is the definition of pop music, by the way, where you hear something so often you're like, fuck this band, I hate it.
Exactly. Popular music, yeah.
I like Lord.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out in the open. I feel like I'm in this
Lord,
circle.
I do too.
And I feel like I need to.
I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not. I mean, I don't know.
No, I do.
I'm
I
gay
do, actually.
too. No, I'm kidding.
No, man, I feel like there's some like Kesha tracks I like, and there's another track that's super poppy, and I'm like, you know what, I like that too.
I mean, every once in a while something comes out and you're like, okay, that's super. Like, I mean, I was on the fucking Gangnam Style train. Like, that was cool. Like,
Yes, you
dumb.
were.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude!
Wait.
Hold on. He called him a musical genius.
What the fuck?
I stand by that.
I was like, dude.
Psy
Beethoven,
is a
yeah.
musical genius.
He's a goddamn musical genius. Just not because it's like super deep or anything, because like that song gets stuck in your fucking brain, and there's something to be said about that.
Well, dude, you know what else gets
So
stuck
does
in my
pineapple,
brain?
apple pen,
Like,
whatever that shit.
Fuck
What the
that
fox
shit.
say?
Fuck.
That group is actually really funny. Have you saw any of their other stuff?
They're also really good too.
Elvis?
Yeah, I
those
know.
guys are
They
really
got
good.
pipes.
Yeah, those guys can sing.
no, jingles get stuck in your head.
So does
Are they musical
meningitis.
genius?
And jingles are also really like hard to write. It's hard
That's
to
a
write
job.
a pitchy jingle.
Yeah, that's a
really
very well paying job.
yeah.
A
Rod
jingle
Stewart.
writer. But like, would you call them musical genius? Like,
Yes.
so people I would call musical genius. You know, the classical composers.
Yeah.
Well,
Can
coming
you
up
write
through
something
the
that'll
ages.
punch everyone in the face in like 10 seconds?
Yeah. Like real
What
fast.
kind of melody will punch everyone in the face?
Well,
And you have 10 seconds. Go.
But okay. But I feel like this is like comparing, like rapists to like I feel like jingle writers are like musical rapists. You know, like they come in, they force it on you, it's in there, and so it's like
And you can never stop thinking about
it. You can never stop thinking about it. Jingle writers are musical rapists.
Jesus Christ.
So I
Writing that
I
down.
would say that Psy is a music raper.
I'm going to politely disagree. Politely.
No, and just because, no, you can't say it's a musical genius because it gets stuck in your head.
I think you can say that.
No, I don't think you can.
Okay.
I used to work with a guy who once told me that I don't remember the name of the guy because I tried to put it out of my head, but there's a guy who's shit. I refuse to look it up right now, but
We won't do that anymore.
no, I won't. But he's like he writes all the current day pop songs, like like Britney Spears or whoever.
Wait, you're talking about
Oh, that
what's
guy.
What's her name?
It's a guy.
Oh, because there's the woman too that wrote like My Heart Will Go On, and like all those
Prince?
Like,
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that was pretty good.
what's her name? I Can See Her Face. She's like a very regular looking white lady.
No, even Heart Will Go On was like 20 years ago, but like this is like today, like within the
today.
last 5 years, like everything in the last 5 years that was a chart topper. This guy was like the main songwriter. And I can't remember what the guy's name was.
And that motherfucker is a musical genius.
Yeah, well, actually, I used to work with a guy who himself also had a music degree. I don't think it was from the same school I did, but he'd said he was talking about this guy, and I'm like, man, why? As if it was something of reverence. I'm like, why are you so into this pop bullshit? And he's like, it's like, well, no, there's like a really a craft to that, and I think this guy's a genius. Different day that I was working with him, we were talking about. I think Don Jaley mentioned Mozart a minute ago, and like we were talking about, like I can't remember how old he was when he died. He wasn't part of the 27 Club, I don't think. And he said, "Oh yeah, well he died in like a pauper's grave, and like apparently he like wrote all this stuff, but he didn't really have his like business act together. So like really, he was kind of an idiot." And I'm like, "Man, you are the one asshole that I know of who called Mozart an idiot and this modern day pop writer a genius. What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm embarrassed that you're part of my species. What an asshole.
I think anyone that is able to use sonic frequency to the point where they can survive socially is probably somewhat of a musical genius.
Yeah.
Well, if you can write the dumbest shit ever and become super rich and never have to work again,
Yeah.
you're a little bit of a fucking genius because you tapped into something with everybody else that they didn't even know was there, and now they appreciate.
Yeah.
Or is
Diane
it a-
Warren. Diane Warren.
Diane Warren, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's her name.
But you could like.
Marketing genius, though, maybe?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
no,
Like a
there's some
marketing
business
genius,
aspect to that,
you know?
sure. Yeah.
It's
Sure,
like, what do you want to be? Do you want to be remembered for? Making. I don't.
I'm
something
not saying it's
terrible.
good.
Right.
I want. Right, but I feel like genius should be reserved for somebody who's doing something of value.
It's true. That word is watered down. Like legend is watered down with
Yeah.
saying the first when I first saw Jimmy Page and Robert Plant in concert, I leaned over to my friend and I was like, "Man, we're looking at legends," and it was like, "Yeah, sweet." And like whenever I hear that legend status being attributed to like I don't know, the Black Crowes or something. I mean, I like the Black Crowes just fine, but they're not, you know.
Right.
In fairness, I never heard of
Robin
them.
Hood.
I couldn't. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Jimmy Page and Robin Hood.
In fairness, that's all it's reserved for. In fairness, I never heard that with the Black Crowes. I can't remember who it was that I heard that about it, but it pissed me
People
off.
say this
nonetheless.
all the time.
I think
it's
it's appropriate though, and I like the bands that you chose there because Jimmy Page and Robert Plant are, by anybody's definition, legends. And I don't know if I've heard anybody say that directly with the Black Crowes, which I love too. The Black Crowes are a great band. I've seen them live; they're incredible. They're not legends. Okay?
What's fucked up is that they had a live album with the guys from
Jimmy
Zeppelin,
Page.
right?
Yeah.
With Page,
exactly.
yeah.
With Page, yeah. It's a good one too.
It's a killer album. It's great.
I would say that. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was going to say that Jimmy Page and Robert Plant are legends because there are like actual legends about them that no one knows whether or not that shit is true.
Yeah.
Shark stuff.
Yeah,
Shark stuff.
Yeah, like you know all the fucking
The Zoso black magic shit.
yeah, exactly, all that stuff. Like there are people have made up legends because those guys are legends. Like how many legends are there about like.
I mean, I think for a time they actually attributed Bonham's death to the black magic stuff that he was practicing.
Yeah.
And whether or not they still believe that or not, I don't know if they've forgiven themselves for their treacherous ways, right? Whatever. But yeah, no, definitely legendary status.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that is what gives you sort of a legendary thing. Where it's like when people start making up stories about you, and you're just, yeah, and maybe they heard that shit, they're like, oh, what?
But
I mean, I'm not gonna.
at the same
correct them.
time, while I agree with you, I think we can attribute a lot of those things about legends to Marilyn Manson. Would you call him a legend? I wouldn't. Like there are all those like he got
Those are
breast
rumors.
implants.
Those aren't legends. Those are rumors.
I guess so.
I
Yeah.
guess it's a little
Okay.
different.
No,
Yeah.
that he got a rib removed so he could suck his own dick.
Yeah,
I
and
thought that was
that
the drummer that they said that about.
No,
I did that last
man.
Thursday.
How, is it good? It's good.
It's still a little sore.
Okay, I meant like how like do you have to like work up your skills? Like are you?
No, I'm saying I've been doing it since last Thursday, and now I'm still sore.
Oh, okay, I see.
So just to clarify, you've sucked your own dick since last Thursday?
Yeah, that's no.
Okay, is it
absolutely.
even possible? Could we get so flexible that we could a man could he suck his own dick? A human man.
I would think it wouldn't be the ribs; it would be your spine that would have to be really flexible.
Yeah.
Is
Is it possible? Could you have the?
I don't know.
Cirque du Soleil performers, when you look at them bending themselves in thirds, you know?
Maybe okay. You know, whenever you wake up and you have like morning wood or something, and you have to bend over to like take a piss. You know, you have to like lean forward a little bit because it's just you can't get it down.
I just stand back.
I guess you can stand back
Or bend over.
Yeah. Yeah. You bend over a little bit, or you do like
I pretend I'm in St. Louis.
you have to do like a lunge. You have to lunge it and angle it down and lunge forward to get it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have to maybe do something like that.
What
where
the
you're-
fuck? How desperate are you for a BJ if you're sucking your own pissy dick?
Not that desperate, I guess.
I'm gonna
I
write
mean,
down pissy dick. That's a good one.
hashtag pissy dick.
Exactly.
Would you really want to do it though? Like, there's nothing in me. There's nothing in me that makes me want to suck my own dick. Nothing at
Dude,
all.
if I could suck my own dick, I'd suck my own dick.
Would you really?
Fuck yeah, I'd at least try it. Wait, what? So
Well, you slap it around, but you can't put it in your mouth. What the
Right,
fuck?
right, exactly. Like it's good enough for your girlfriend's, boyfriend's, wife's, whatever's mouth, but like you won't put your mouth on your own dick, but you expect someone else to put their mouth on your dick. I feel like the one condition of getting head is the fact that you would be willing to put it in your own mouth.
I don't know. I just like.
What are you disgusting? Like, it's not gay. Is it gay? Like, or do you feel like your heterosexuality threatened when you're jerking yourself off? All of a sudden, you put your mouth on it, and that gets weird.
Ah, man, we're on different wavelengths here. I'm
No,
just thinking
man.
the effort just to get into that. Like,
I'm saying if
also,
it was
like-
accessible, if it was like a
I don't put that
viable
much.
option.
I don't put that much effort into having sex with somebody else ever. I never have. That's a lot of effort. And maybe I'm lucky and I'm blessed that like I have a silver tongue or something where I'm like, hey, do you like stuff? Blow me, and it worked. But there's no way where I was like sitting there watching YouTube videos like, can I stretch like that? Can I get?
Also, that'd be really
the years
difficult.
of training it would take. You're
Can you-
saying isn't worth the
Yeah,
effort.
exactly.
Well, there's an SNL skit about that. It's Will Ferrell, or he's in a yoga class, and he's like, "I finally did it. I finally achieved the ultimate level of mastery of yoga. I can suck my own dick." And it's just him just doing that.
No, so that's not even what I'm saying, though. I'm saying if we could do it, if right now we possess the flexibility, just bend over, suck our own dick.
Nah, you know what? Also, no, just
You
no.
wouldn't do it.
No,
Based on what?
a couple of things.
Okay.
I have a really bad gag
Then
reflex. Like, I know I'm not. Okay, like growing up, like your friends were always
Vomit
like,
makes the best lube.
No, that's so again. Maybe I'm just lazy, but I don't want to clean that up. I don't.
That's the easiest way to not have to clean it up. Swallow it.
And there's a couple other things. What if I had Arby's for lunch? It's just the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
Well,
next time you pee, you smell Arby's, and you're like, oh.
Oh, that's so gross. If you're sucking your own dick after eating, like, that's something covered in Arby's
Right,
sauce.
I hate when that
And
happens.
then you get Arby's sauce on your dick. Like, rinse your fucking mouth out before you suck your own dick.
And then you hook up with somebody else, and they're like, did you have Arby's for lunch?
The grossest thing about sucking your own dick is the Arby's breath afterwards.
No, but I'm saying it's a hard no. If you could do it without hard work, you wouldn't do it.
I'm not sure. See, I think for me, if I were that flexible, you'd also have to because that's effort. Like even if you're like going down on somebody else, like you kind of have to like take a second, like maybe like let your mouth relax or like what like it's a physical effort. So like if you're trying to relax and please yourself, doing effort, it's like giving yourself a massage. You can't give yourself a massage. It's not the same.
Okay, what I'm saying is, imagine our anatomy is such that it's not terribly uncomfortable. We're not like
Your dick was growing out of your sternum.
So I'm just like,
And it was just
I'm
right
like,
there.
right.
My
So
shoulder,
your involvement would just be maybe just like a flexing of your core. It would be like a moderate.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're jerking it, it's like or if you're a woman, you have it's probably less. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's only some your range of motion is only like from here, from here to here. So it's not that much work really. But this is like
Okay,
way
level of
more.
work equivalent. If you could jerk yourself off or suck your own dick, level of work equivalent. Do you suck your own dick?
No, I'd probably just jerk off.
What the fuck? No, it feels better. You're sucking your own dick. If you're saying you're with someone and they say, hey, I'm equally turned on and into the idea of either giving you a hand job or sucking your dick. What do you want? I want my dick sucked every time.
Yeah, because it's a different person. Like okay, here it's. I'm going to go ahead and compare it again to giving or receiving a massage. Like if I'm sitting here like this, like I could rub my own shoulder, that feels nice, but like it's not the same as if somebody else. I'm just like yeah, exactly right. I'm just totally relaxed right now. That's way better than me doing it myself. Like this,
Here's the other thing. Okay,
Right, that's what I'm saying. But jerking yourself off, it's way better. If
Look,
somebody
society
else is
would be
jerking
totally
you off.
different
No,
if
that's
dudes
false.
could suck their own dicks.
False.
Society
Well, yeah.
in general, like as a whole,
Oh yeah.
humanity would be completely different. Buildings wouldn't even look like buildings.
Girls would have.
we wouldn't wear pants. Like everything would be completely.
That's what I'm saying.
The butterfly effect states clearly. Everything would be totally fucking different.
We would still live in tents.
We wouldn't need anything else.
Yeah,
No, everything would look like boobs.
Yes.
probably.
Boob landscape.
I want to bring this up. I think this is an interesting point.
Girls would have way fewer favors being done for them. Just saying that.
And boys, girls and boys.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
But I think
Whatever your persuasion.
True. Yeah.
I think with blowjobs, there's a visual to that. Like if I'm jerking off and I'm thinking about a blowjob, okay, I'm thinking about that person blowing me.
Right.
Whereas I've never thought like, ooh, this hand job, and there's no visual of that hand job.
That's, for Christ's sakes, this is what I'm saying. If you like blowjobs so much, suck your own dick.
But there's no visual to that. The visual is my balls in my
no
eyes.
visual whenever you're jerking yourself off.
It's like, oh, I'm sucking my own dick, and it's just like it's just flexing nuts. It's just
Yeah,
my
it's like-
balls
and it's
in
also
my
like
eyes.
Your taint, maybe your butthole a little bit. It's like I don't like you're
Yeah.
really close to your own butthole, like back and forth. Like,
Also, what if you fart?
Somebody else's mouth is near your butthole. I feel like my entire point is being missed here. Getting a
Dan's
blowjob
all
is
for
great.
equality.
Yes.
Dan is
Getting
all for
blowjobs
equality.
are great. If it's equal effort to jerk off with your hand or give yourself a blowjob is the ticket. There has been no reason cited that you should choose a self hand job over a self blowjob.
I got one.
I thought this show was about comic books.
It will be in a second, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Actually,
We're not done here.
You know
What
what?
have I gotten into?
We've read comics that touch on this subject too. Anyway, so let's say somebody's like, hey, here's a Corvette. You want this Corvette? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, I'll give it to you for a favor. And you say, what favor? And he'll say, your choice. You can either give me a hand job or a blow job. What do you choose?
This is my point. It depends on if I'm into blowjobs. Am I
No one would ever give
am
that
I a person
option.
who gives blowjobs?
You're right. Yeah. But wait, if given the option, which one are you going to take?
If I like sucking dick, I'd suck dick.
At present, you say like, well, I don't put my face near your balls.
But in fairness, in fairness, we're talking about someone else's balls. Like, I wouldn't want to jerk him off either. Like, I wouldn't want to jerk him off or suck his dick because I'm not into doing either one of those. But I'm into jerking myself off, and so that doesn't bother me. And I'm also into blowjobs. So, like, if I could choose, like, I'm choosing.
I understand what you're saying.
That one did-
However,
I don't think anyone understands.
We
what
have
I'm
to be
saying.
offending someone.
However, it doesn't matter. However, I will say this: depending on how good you personally are at giving blowjobs, that's also a factor because, like, I know that if it's a choice between like if I'm with somebody and like if somebody like offered me a hand job, I'd probably be like, no, that's okay. I can probably just do it myself. Like that.
Wait,
that's, I can do
really?
that.
If she was
Wait,
but what if she was like the hand job queen of the
Nobody's
planet?
making any sense.
What I'm
Somebody
okay.
offers-
I'm not done
Hand
yet.
job
Okay.
queen.
I
of
am
the
not done
planet.
yet. I'm not done yet. I'm like, say it's like okay. So if somebody offers to give you like this, like, would you rather like if we're hooking up, like, would you rather like me just give you a hand job, like if it's for whatever reason someone's like I can't do anything else but give you a hand job, or would you just like maybe I can just get naked and then you can just jerk yourself off? I'd be like, well, unless you're really fucking good at hand jobs. That's cool. Like, we're still interacting, you know. Like, let me say we're still making out or something, and I can jerk myself off. I prefer that because sometimes
I'm saying give it a go. That's what I'm saying every time. Give it a go. Give it a shot. Let's see how this goes.
No,
That's great.
I guess.
Let's give it a go.
So
Yeah.
on the
I'm
one-
never going to turn down somebody else. Huh. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that around right now.
just because nobody and like, I know what you're gonna say. Like, nobody knows you like you do. Like, no one can at least manually please you like you can probably because you feel what's happening. Like, you can make the adjustments that you like.
Yeah, you can make things.
I
happen.
prefer other people.
Yeah, I mean, I do too.
Right.
Like, as a general rule.
Sure, of course.
But
yeah,
you could bring yourself to a palm puddle in several minutes.
Yes.
Right? Like you could make a
Several.
palm.
I think maybe that's the difference, though. Like, I think there's like a thing. It's not always about like the ends of the means. Sometimes it's about
the
the
journey.
enjoyment of the interaction with the person. And
right.
entirely.
You know,
I
yeah, I can-
agree with you 100%, but I'm just talking, I think what we're talking about is like, you know exactly what you need at any moment. And it's like, oh, that's not working for me, but that feels good, so I'm going to do that. And you can do that enough and to the point where it's like, oh, well, there's 100 and some odd seconds later, you got a palm puddle.
Look,
You've rubbed the lamp, you're now making good decisions.
I got to say this because we
I
talked
call
about
it my palm pulpit.
on the way over here. Dan picked me up.
Hands and put it together.
Prayer flow.
Oh, gross.
Dan picked me up, and we saw this like crazy hot girl in these yoga pants, and her ass was perfect. And he was like, "Man, I absolutely need to get laid."
I'm
if
really
you
gonna
jerked
need
off
to
right now,
cut that out
if you
there. I need you to go ahead.
Speaking
Get in
of
there
yoga
and cut that
pants,
shit out right now.
that's not getting cut out. And you said I need to get laid, and I bet
No.
Hey, sometimes
Whatever, there's no shame in that.
Maybe putting that out there is not a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
We have a lot of listeners.
If you rub the lamp right now, I bet you would have a different opinion on this subject. If you just went to the bathroom for several minutes and came back, you were like, "No, I'm not going to suck my own dick."
No, I've invested
Before-
time into this thought. I'm like, because I've thought about it ever since, I don't know, Marilyn Manson did it.
I'll tell you what. He
never
what
did that.
I got from this
he
conversation.
sucked Twiggy's dildo. That was how the whole rumor started. So I saw Marilyn Manson in 1994 open for Nine Inch Nails, and their stage show. Twiggy, their bass player, would whip out a giant dildo on stage, and Marilyn would kneel down and suck it. I was like a sophomore in high school. It's the first time I'd ever seen anything. It's the first time anyone had ever seen anything like Marilyn Manson. Right. You know, and here I am in the central Illinois cornfields, and there's this these people sucking each other off, and it was madness. And but that's where the rumor came from with the sucking dick. Was Twiggy had a rubber. Like, it was really big too. It was. I mean, I was in the C. I was in the C section, and I could see there was a phallus, and he would suck Twiggy off on stage, and that's where the whole sucking dick Marilyn Manson thing spun out of control.
Was it one of those ones that's attached to like a hose? So there's like it just like sprays like all.
No,
over?
I don't think so. I think it was just a regular old floppy rubber dildo.
I read his autobiography, and he admits to sucking Twiggy's dick in the autobiography.
Well, he may have actually.
This was
done
early.
That. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
surprised.
yeah. He in like the books when they talk about like the early years before it was Marilyn Manson. They were at a stage show, and he literally.
Are you talking about Long Hard Road Out of Hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think I got through half of that.
It's somewhere in the middle of it. I just remember because I was young when that came out. That was like 98 or something. I was like 13, 14 years old. I don't know. But I remember him saying like, yeah, I sucked his dick and it was no big deal. Like nobody was hard. And then...
But again, you're talking about
sucked his plastic
again.
dick?
You're talking about a shock rocker who wrote a book.
That's true. It
Like
could-
if
it
there's
could be a
no
complete lie.
shock or entertainment value in the book, no one would read it. So he's going to be like, I did all this fucking. Crazy
You're right.
shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting read. And then
It
he
is,
says
actually.
like, there's these two girls that come up to them after the show and they're like, we heard that you sucked a dick in the middle of the show. We didn't see it. We want you to do it right now. And he's like, I'll suck his dick right now. And like he gets down on his knees and he starts sucking his flaccid dick again. Who knows? If that, I mean, yeah, you're right. Marilyn Manson. But
I would
mean,
believe that.
I mean, sure. Why not? Why would
I would prefer to believe that
yeah.
about Marilyn Manson. In fact,
Yeah, more street.
I want him to have something left.
Yeah.
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 At least he sucked that dick.
Yeah,
Right.
Some cred.
At least after all these years.
But what I get out of all of this is that if I'm in a very serious relationship, if I had anybody else below me, like from this point for the rest of my life, it's got to be Dan. You really think you can suck a dick? Like you're hellbent.
Don't
on
get
it.
me wrong. I could definitely suck my dick the best.
Right.
If I could do it, I could do mine the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah. You know what? You know what you need? A portal gun.
Wait,
The portal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just fucking put the portal on the wall in front of you. Portal on the wall in front of you. It's right there. Eye level.
That's pretty
you don't
brilliant.
have to bend over at all.
actually.
It's
Why has that never been drawn in a book?
I don't know.
it's somewhere.
It's gotta
Rule
be.
34. It has to be
yeah,
out
it's-
there.
Hey,
Yeah.
authors.
Portal glory holes. That has to
Portal
be somewhere.
hole.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a more catchy name.
You're right. There's a certain alliteration.
A glory
there.
portal.
A glory portal.
Glory
yeah,
portal.
there you go. Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about comic books.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Welcome to our podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I
I hope you're having a good time so far.
I am actually. This is-
So this book. Did anybody want to take the reins on this? I mean,
Which one is this? What was I talking about?
Regression.
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 I have one line in this that I need to read in a sinister voice.
Okay. So I'll.
Well, maybe Chad, because Chad read it.
You want
Why don't you
to
introduce
You want to introduce it? So here's what we do. We you say like the name of the book, the publisher, the people who wrote and drew it, like 2-3 names, and give us kind of a brief synopsis of what happened, and then we can talk about it.
All right, so this is Regression by Cullen Bunn, Danny Luckert, and Marie Enger.
Sure.
This is an Image comic, and it's pretty fucking rad, actually.
Yeah.
Danny Luckert did the art, Cullen Bunn did the story, and Marie Enger did the colors and the letters. And this book is kind of fucking freaky. It's about a guy who starts having hallucinations, quote, air quote, hallucinations. I don't think we've established that they actually are hallucinations yet. And he goes to a hypnotherapist or a hypno entertainer who hypnotizes him. And I feel like after the end of this book, we've just barely scratched the surface as to what we're going to find in the main character's psyche, which is probably what I think is the most exciting part about this book, is that it's so fucking wide open. Like they could go in any direction. All I know is that there is going to be insects.
Yes.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of insects, and it's going to get really fucking dark after the first issue.
Yeah. It's to me, it seems like so. For me, what it implies, I think, is that this guy has has a past life, and in which he was some kind of fucking maniac.
And yet he doesn't believe in past lives.
Right, he doesn't believe in past lives, but apparently, like this guy regresses him, and he goes back to this. Like, I mean, the splash page in the middle is this crazy. Like, it's half him on one side and half this other person on the other side, and you just see all this crazy. Like this, like the other guy is like fucking some chick, and then he's about to be hanged.
I like that page a lot.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like the centerfold, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like, yeah, it is pretty. This is pretty wild.
There's a rat
And that's all.
watching him get something.
Yeah,
And that's all stuff that that's while he's under hypnosis that he has visions of all that stuff. Is
I
that
think
correct?
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's during the hypnotherapy session.
But he's a guy who is the main character is this very introverted guy who's experiencing a lot of sort of anxiety and social anxiety, and he is having hallucinations, having these experiences in his waking life that are leading to him feeling like he's going insane. And then what you see as the book unfolds is exactly that. He goes to see this hypnotherapist or this hypnotist. He's not a therapist. He's a hypnotist.
He also is a therapist, I think, right? Doesn't they say that on his card?
Oh, no, it says hypnotist on the card. There it is right there.
Just hypnotist.
Yeah.
Oh, hypnotherapist, weight loss.
Yeah.
Comedy show.
Yeah, he does everything.
Got you.
Fundraising.
So he's a hypnotist, but he meets him. He meets him in the context of like sort of like a comedic.
Yeah, he's
whatever.
doing a
He's
comedy show.
hypnotizing,
Yeah.
people and making them cluck like chickens or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you read the author's notes in the back, where the author got this inspiration for this book was his dad was one of those people. His dad was this dude who would hypnotize people and take them into like past life regressions, and they would have really detailed accounts of previous lives and this just having multiple lives, having lived multiple lives. And except for this one person that the author talks about who was the inspiration for this book. He was doing this past life regression, and the dude was just silent. Like he didn't say anything, and it was the look of either this person was a new being, this was just his first incarnation, he has no past lives, or maybe this person did something so fucking terrible that it was traumatizing even to them. Or they were so awful they couldn't speak of it.
Like his dad's take was that it's like, okay, well, this guy's just totally silent. That means that he's like, yeah, he's never been. This is his first time. Like there are no past lives for this guy. But his thought, what the author's thought was, yeah, maybe, like this guy went silent because it was like he just couldn't.
He's seen life upon life upon life upon life of fucking absolute torment and torture and horror.
Exactly.
Or maybe he was the torturer.
And then this guy wrote a book based on all that shit he imagined.
Yes.
Which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Endless torture. Let's do that.
Yeah, like
Cycle of suffering.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I imagined like in that, like whenever that reading that the silent guy is just like seeing just like almost in Event Horizon, like that video.
Yeah.
The fucking there's like literally a glimpse of hell where the guy's holding his fucking eyes and shit, like just horrific.
Do to me.
Yeah.
Creatures crawling out of your mouth.
Fairies.
This was easily the most disgusting comic I think we've read so far.
I'm really glad to be a part of this, by the way, guys.
I mean, maybe before I was on the show, but since I've been on, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, there was
we've
a
read.
space one that was nameless.
Oh, Nameless.
was-
Nameless was incredible.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, you're right. That was. I still think this was really gross.
But I felt like all the disgusting shit in here wasn't actually disgusting. It was more like an expression of
It's shock rock, man.
well, not just it didn't. It wasn't. I didn't feel like I was actually seeing that stuff. I thought it was more of like an artistic rendering of the shit going on inside of this guy's head. You know, not
Yeah.
really like. I guess essentially a breaking down. Like a breaking down, you know, maybe or
So you didn't feel submerged in any way in this world. You didn't feel like surrounded by the vile.
yeah, I felt like this dude was like losing his shit. You know, he's like or this past life, he's becoming conscious of it for some reason, and this thing is haunting him, and what he's seeing is just like projections of that former life.
That, and I don't think that the stuff that he sees itself is particularly gross. Like, I mean, there's a lot of bugs, but I mean, I've seen Nature Channel or whatever. Like, I've seen bugs before in the back. There's nothing too weird about that. But just the fact that he can't get away from it. Yeah, it's a good page. The fact that he can't get away from it. But yeah, so there's like a little creature crawling outside of him in his crawling out of his chest in his nightmare, and there's a death scene in there somewhere too. But we've seen that stuff before too. I don't know. Like I think what's scary about it is not so much the images themselves. It's just that he can't. You know, it's in his head somehow in his head, so he can't get away from it. Like I think the what could be called the horrifying part of that is just the inescapable nature of it. It's not so much what it is itself that he's seeing.
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Well, anytime I've had like a negative time on like a hallucinogen or something, where you can't stop it. It's just in your head until it's over. Like, so you're trapped in your own mind until it passes, and it's like that is fucking. It's horrifying. It's bad. You know, there's nothing you can do. You're just there, and you got to wait.
And I think that speaking about hallucinogens or having, you know, these mild or not mild, extreme, like dissociated experiences, if it is the result of life experiences and things that not the result of whatever physiology or breakdowns in some like chemical production in the brain or some degenerative disorder, if they're expressions of life trauma or past life trauma, you're going to keep experiencing them like as you push them off, right? Yeah. So like when that psychedelic trip is over, when you've taken your medicine or whatever, like your anti-anxiety pills, and you're no longer in that state of like dissociation, fear, panic, like that shit is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere.
Right.
And until you address those things, all of these things that crept up in that state of that psychedelic state, you know, like it's like all that shit's still there. Like, what have you done with it? Yeah. Like the trip's over, but guess what? Like that didn't come from the whatever plants you ingested. That was just the plants just agitated something in your consciousness, and that's what emerged. Yeah. It wasn't, they're not like, oh, that made me have a terrible experience. No, like what made you have a terrible experience is all of the shit that you're not dealing with. Yeah. You know?
Right.
Do you think Mr. Adrian is on drugs? Do you think this guy takes drugs?
No.
I don't think so.
I didn't get
so
that
he's
impression.
straight-laced, like this kid right here. Who's
Yeah, that's how I take it.
wearing the Iron Maiden shirt and having visions of fucking crazy-ass grub worms climbing out of his stomach. Isn't self-medicating? Is that what we're saying?
For
like,
me, it would be really funny if the whole, like at the end of the book, it's just like, oh no, you just took like bad acid. It's fine.
But again, it still would be a valid comic because I don't think there's like quote bad acid.
Sure,
you know,
right?
like
Yeah, not bad
LSD.
acid. You're just on a bad trip. Like
you've
I
taken
think there are
yourself
only-
down a negative wormhole.
yeah.
I don't even think. I think referring to those experiences as negative or as bad,
Okay,
like qualifying them, I think that's even inaccurate. I think like, everything's just a trip. Yeah. What?
How can you say that's not negative?
I think that it's an expression of. So if that were a friend, if he were a friend of mine and he saw that, I'll be like, hey man, you should probably talk about that. Like, what do you feel like? What do you feel like that means to you? Like, you're seeing people around you with like rotted out eyes and like rotted out mouths. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I
By
think
the way,
speaks to something deeper. You know, I don't think that it's face value.
Yeah.
The phone number for Resolve Psychiatric Crisis Network is 412-343.
Is that true?
No, I'm just making that shit.
I don't know what it is, but if you guys are feeling psychotic, give them a call. Also, if you're having a bad or a difficult
If you're seeing
LSD
bugs
experience,
crawl out of the hollow recesses of your friend's face while chilling at a party, you might want to call someone.
or you might want to get new
Not a
friends.
hypnotist comedian, which was my biggest problem with this book. Was like, wow, you're seeing bugs crawling out of people's anuses. Maybe I should call my comedy friend who does hypnotism on the side. I kind of felt like the vocabulary was very haphazard. Like the conversations between the people were like, "Hey, so I'm having a real tough time. Well, I think my friend who's a hypnotist can help you. Cool.
Well, maybe
I'm gonna go see them.
maybe because like
It felt kind of tired.
maybe this
The
guy,
concept, by the way, is rad. I'm not naysaying.
Right. But well, maybe this guy was more comfortable seeing like a guy who's like, okay, this is bullshit. It's like guy's a hypno fucking comedian. Like it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna go there. I'm gonna appease her. She can shut the fuck up about like all this shit. And like instead of him like actually going to a therapist, like he's like, no, I'm not going to a therapist. I'm not gonna do that. But I will go to see your fucking quack friend. Like
I feel like this dude needs to check in.
yeah, definitely. But what I'm saying, like he probably was more comfortable. I'm just just going from being the devil's advocate.
Or he's at, like, the thing I was thinking is he's kind of like at the end of his rope, right? He's like having hallucinations. He's trying, or like air quotes, hallucinations. He's trying to like still be social, and he's like, I don't have control of this. And somebody's like, all right, go to here's a friend, because I don't think it's too much crazier than saying to someone like, oh, you're having these really crazy experiences. You're like not you're so depressed, you're so distraught, like medicine and therapy isn't working for you. Maybe go meet with this guy in South America who says that plants talk to him, and we're gonna feed you this shit, and he's gonna tell you what the plants told him, and then what these ethereal beings are telling him about you, and then emerging from that better.
And then you have to fight Dormammu.
Right. But I mean, that's happening all the time. Like these ayahuasca retreats and these Wachuma retreats and these like Ibogaine retreats are taking place, and what science, or what studies are showing is that they're really effective at treating treatment-resistant PTSD, depression, anxiety, addiction. So
I just read some study about how microdosing is like a really effective treatment for depression.
Yeah.
No shit.
LSD micro.
I mean, like, come on. What the fuck? Really?
I saw that same thing. Like every 3 months or so, they say
sad.
for small amount of mushrooms every 3 months will make you feel like unanimously better in a study. So
No shit.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
those mushrooms are awesome.
yeah,
Also, small doses of LSD administered like every 3 days. That's also a prescription.
oh man. Can you imagine? Okay, I don't think anybody here has
Small
taken as much LSD as I have. If you have, bravo to you, because I
Certainly
should
not.
be dead. But I have. It's been decades since I've done LSD. But the
Decades?
one.
Okay. I was like,
One.
So it's been 10
only
years.
got a few of them under your belt.
You really look great.
One and a
I thought you looked shitty, but you look really good.
1.5 maybe 1.5. I don't know. It's high school. So I one time. I've never had a bad trip to the point where I had to be hospitalized, and I did quite a bit of LSD. But I did have one very crazy trip where so me and my friend we bought, and I remember it was like the most amazing LSD. It was called White Crystal. And normally, like, you would get the blotter paper and it'd have pictures on it and stuff, and like you would get Mickey Mouse or you would get Donald Duck, and it made it cute. But it was just white crystal, these white like pieces of construction paper, and everyone was like, "You just need one. That's all you need." And I took 5, and the idea was that we had this genius idea, me and my friend, who will remain anonymous because I'm sure they don't want me talking about our LSD experiences. We were like, yeah, let's eat like 5 5 of these. That sounds like a genius idea. So we did that, and we were like, what are we going to do? And we're like, we should go to Monroeville Mall. That's
Wow.
because we're 16 and we're idiots. Yeah. So that was our genius idea. We went to the mall, and this stuff took like a long time to kick in. And I saw my friend there, and he was like, I forget, everybody has book bags. You're 16. And he said, hey, that movie you wanted to borrow, I have that. I happen to have that on me. You should take that. And I was like, oh, cool. So it's a movie called Bloodsucking Freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Not on acid.
Great movie.
And we were at the mall, and I remember my dad came to pick us up, and I just started tripping balls. And I was sitting in the back of the car, and my mouth opened up, and I started throwing up, and I have no idea why. So I'm just sitting there, and I was really throwing up. This wasn't the drugs. I was just like, "Bleh." My dad's like, he's a dad. He's like, throwing up back there. I'm like, yep. He's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll clean it up when I get home. I don't know. And I have no idea what's going
convincing.
on. So I got home, and, he's like, why would you throw up? You were just at the mall. Were you drinking? I was like, no. Get a bunch of acid. I didn't say that. I just, So I get downstairs, and I put on Bloodsucking Freaks. Which, if you ever do acid, you shouldn't watch that movie. No. That's not good. But I've never had such pure visuals on a hallucinogenic as I did on this. I was sitting in my basement watching this movie, and the movie kind of spread out into the room.
God, I want to do this now.
And I was just sitting there, and I didn't have a bad trip. I was sitting there, and I was laughing, and I was like, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe this. And my mom comes running downstairs, and I'm like, this is not an opportune time to be talking to my parents. I'm watching a horror movie. There's a bunch of naked, bloody chicks all over the screen. And she comes down, and she's like, this is a school night. By the way, this is a school night. And I'm like, okay. And she said, well, are you going to go upstairs and go to bed? I don't remember what I said. Apparently it appeased her because she left, except for her head. And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the movie, and it won't leave. And her head's just there, and her mouth's open, but there's blood shooting down from her neck. And I'm like, this is not ideal. This is not an ideal situation that I should be in. And I didn't know what to do.
Well, so you don't actually know whether you hallucinated her head staying or hallucinated her body leaving. Maybe she was there.
It's a very valid point.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Except I know my mother, and she definitely would go back to bed.
Okay.
That's totally she would never stay down there. Okay. So I tried everything. I tried going into it's a basement, and then there's a laundry room next to it, like a furnished basement. I tried going into the laundry room. Also, the movie bled in there, and the blood never stopped leaving her neck, so it's all over the floor. I go in there. I open the door back up. No, her head's still fucking there, and her mouth is still open. And I'm like, you need to leave. This is a school night. And I go over. I sit back on the couch. I try turning all the lights off. I try turning the TV off, turn it back on. Nothing. My mom's head is just still there. So I'm like, I'm going to bed. You just do whatever you want. So I duck under the head. I go upstairs. I go to my bedroom. And I had, if you guys remember in Spencer's, they had those 3D wall arts, a skull that would come out and would be glowing and stuff. Yep. And I had one of those in my room. And then I had an Insane Clown Posse poster.
I hate High School You so much.
Oh, High School Me sucks. And I just sat there on my bed, and while the Insane Clown Posse sat behind me, and they kept moving, and they're moving their shoulders, and this skull head comes out, and it's just sitting in front of me, and I never went to bed that night because how can you? And I finally my alarm goes off at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, this is going to be a rough day of school. But I did go back downstairs to see if my mom's head was there. It thankfully was gone. I had visuals the entire rest of the day, though, just in my peripheral. So, no, this guy's not on drugs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But do you think he should be?
Yeah, obviously. He fucking sees maggots everywhere.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity, by the way, on the part of the writer. Whose name, by the way?
Colin Bunn.
Bunn? Okay.
Yeah, Colin.
Man, if I were a buddy of his while he was in the middle of writing this, I would say, why don't you, he's at this barbecue, he sees his friend's face, eyes and mouth fill up with bugs. He's at the bar. Why didn't he grab the nearest can of Raid and just spray it all in the guy's face?
I feel like the conversations and like the human interaction of this story is lacking. I feel like the concept is awesome, and the potential is even more awesome. Like they just left it wide open for any kind of array of awful, horrid, degenerate, disgusting shit, which is great. That's the scariest part to me is the potential.
Yeah.
The scariest part of this book to me was the potential it has.
I actually have the second issue here in my room. I haven't read it yet, but I mean, if you guys want to read it, we can.
Yeah,
Will you read it to me?
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I would read the second one because I want to know what happens with this.
Okay. Yeah, we can during the break. We can.
You haven't read it.
I haven't read it yet. No.
I will say though, they miss again with opportunities here that they didn't present in the book. I genuinely do not know if this guy would suck his own dick or not.
I think this guy's willing to try anything. I think if you told him, although how terrifying
Are there
would that
maggots
be?
in the dick?
And that's why.
Only sometimes.
You
And
go
that's
down
why
to suck
we'll
your own
keep
dick, and there's maggots coming out of it.
That's an immediate deal breaker.
Well, the problem with that is okay. Here's the
I'm
problem.
worried if other people have gingivitis. I'm not going to suck a maggot.
The problem is that maggots smell really bad. Is the problem.
Do they, or is it the garbage
dude.
they're on?
No,
dude, they do.
no.
That's the problem with
Smell
maggots.
bad?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I went fishing with maggots, and they didn't really have much of a smell.
No,
It's
maggots are.
probably just because you didn't have enough of them around. I don't know.
Yeah, like if you see like
They
a
do,
pile.
man.
There was one time whenever Chris and I lived in the South Side, and we forgot to take the garbage out or something, and like it was hot, it was summertime, and I opened up the garbage can, and it was I thought that someone had thrown away a thing of like Chinese food rice, and it just like fell out of the garbage can, and I'm like, oh my god, they're moving, and I mean it's like it was like a fucking like a cup of maggots, like maybe 2 cups, like measurement.
Yeah,
cups
but don't you think the
full.
smell is coming from the garbage and not the
No,
maggots?
no.
Maggots have a distinctive
Maggots
smell.
have a smell, and it's horrifying. It's disgusting.
So if you call somebody maggot breath, that's actually
Yeah,
like
that's
a
really
particular
bad.
smell. I just
Oh yeah, you do not want to smell maggots.
I don't know that I've ever
gross.
smelled maggots outside of the context of a hot garbage.
Like fresh washed maggots.
You don't want to smell maggots.
Well, fair enough.
All right, so
Piss.
the last part of this, Chad, is that we all go around the table and we say whether or not we want to continue reading this book. I think we all know, but like I'll just say it, do it anyway. Just yes or no, one word answers. Chad,
I want you to read it to me.
okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Jer,
Yeah, it has a lot to like. It was pretty vague. I'm not sure where it's going to go.
yeah, Greg,
I'm intrigued. I'll have to say yes.
Dan,
Yes.
yeah, we'll read it. We will probably read it right now, actually. So
Yeah.
we might as well get to that. Let's go back around to the where to find us and shit. So you can find us at grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube, Grown Up Human Comic People, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at grownuphumans. Make sure to rate and review. We will read whatever you write on the rate and review on the air, and you can fucking tell us, even say which member of the cast you would like to say it. So do that, and Chad, you want to tell us again where you can find us?
Google search Black Yoga, Zeke's Coffee. You can find me on Instagram at Veniculture, VENICULTURE. That's it.
Cool.
Is Dan likely to find more girls in yoga pants like he saw on the way over here at the Black Metal yoga?
You know what's strange? What's strange
Black
about
yoga, I should say,
the
sorry.
black yoga, the black metal yogas? It's not really black metal yogas.
I said metal mistakenly.
The strange thing about black yoga is that it's pretty much 50-50 guys and girls. It's not all women. There's a lot of dudes that are into it. Go
Which is
figure.
cool about that project too. Like there are way more dudes. I mean,
way
I don't
le-
go to yoga to like check chicks out because I'm not a creep. But like walking, although if you're walking into a yoga class and you happen to notice that somebody's really attractive, that's okay too. But like, note to everybody, like, don't check girls out. in
No, don't
yoga
do that.
class.
It's really fucking creepy. It's gross.
It's creepy. It's sad. It's actually sad.
Yeah, kind of.
But
No, suck your own dick instead. That's good.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely suck. That's what I'm saying. If you sucked your own
Not
dick,
in class.
If you sucked your own dick, you wouldn't check chicks out at yoga class.
Although if you were to whip to like if you were bendy enough to actually suck your own dick in a yoga class, some people might be like, "Wow, that guy's really good at yoga."
That's where you should be sucking your own dick. Like that's impressive. It's like seeing like like when you see those fountains of like children with pissing on people. Like you look at like that's artistic. That's really nice.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. So the point is go to yoga because you're trying to suck your own dick, not because you're trying to get your dick sucked.
right, Amen.
Amen.
I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better.
That's a T-shirt.
That is a T-shirt.
But yeah, the black yoga.
Tuesday nights, 7:15. Exhale, Pittsburgh on Smithfield Street, 220. I think. Damn, I'm going to get the address wrong. Google search.
Exhale yoga. They're
Exhale.
super popular.
Yeah.
Give us Pittsburgh directions. What's it by?
Art Institute, a couple blocks up,
Okay.
towards the point.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I think I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's the episode. We'll go around and everybody say goodbye. Chris,
Bye-bye.
J-Man,
See ya.
Greg,
Until next time.
Dan,
It's been a pleasure.
Chad.
And the Strovit.
Thank you for coming on, by the way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
thanks a lot,
Excellent.
man.
Yeah, thank you it was a good time.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks.
I'm Jared. That was the episode. We're the humans. And good night.
Go home and suck your own dick.
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Epicast.